Good morning, everybody. It's The Scoop, the podcast by Pioneer Publications. I'm Maxwell.
And I'm Finn.
It is Monday the 10th here at Pierce College and, well, I guess everywhere else in the world.
And it is also the start of finals week.
Ugh. I do not envy any of you who have finals in a class today. All mine were online or projects, and I'm done.
I do. Well, that's sarcasm for you right there.
Oh, oh, I thought you were like, I do have.
No, no. I do envy you, which what I meant was sarcasm. Whoops.
Yeah, well, whatever. So there's not much going on this week other than finals. On Friday, there is a event happening at the Science Dome, which is an inside look of NASA. You can purchase tickets through the Pierce College website. I did not check to see how much they were, but Science Dome time, Friday.
I think it's the same for every show here, is that if you have a student ID, they'll let you get in for free. If you are an outsider, then you have to pay $5.
And I'm not sure because all the other things, the ticket prices were listed on the actual calendar website, whereas this one wasn't. It just had an external link, like, get tickets here. So, I mean, maybe since it technically falls outside of the quarter, because I think the last day is Wednesday. So since this is outside of the quarter, it may just be an independent event that any schmo can come to, and it doesn't matter if you're a student.
Have you been to the Science Dome?
I have not been to the Science Dome. I generally don't go to domes.
I don't know.
Ever since they destroyed the King Dome, I haven't been right with domes.
Yeah. Well, it is a fantastic room. I think it's one of my favorite rooms here in the college, and they have some, I guess you can say, futuristic technology to bring the screen to you as if you were viewing it through a window. The last show that I went to, Okay. Should I start that again?
I moved Finn physically with my hands, so he was facing the mic and me. He was doing this weird side mouth thing, which I don't know if you can hear, but...
Yeah. I don't want to breathe in anyone's breath.
Don't worry about it, Finn.
So, the last show that I went to, we saw this kind of planetary... Well, we saw the solar system, and it was like the whole room was just spinning, and it was like as if we were looking out of a window from a spaceship.
Oh. Yeah, no, that's interesting. I'm a big space fan. The one dream that I will never accomplish is going to space. That's all I want. I want to trade this fragile human corpse in for a robot body and then just drift space with terabytes of, hard drive space so I can play some video games while I, float through the galaxy.
Yeah, that could be a possibility, though.
Yeah, someday.
Like, you'll never know.
I'll be dead by then. I'll be dust by the time we've all traded our bodies for whatever the 28th century version of Google Glass is.
Well, unless we figured out a way to keep your soul intact.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with, like, a more grim reality of, unless this climate change thing kills us first.
Okay. That's grim.
Yeah, well, I mean, don't litter, folks. Use renewable things, green energy.
Yeah.
Your truck is a bad idea.
No plastic bags, folks.
Yeah. No straws. Buy a metal straw. Bring your own straw.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. We are here today with Crystal Park, advisor to the Pioneer and instructor of journalism here at Pierce College. Good morning, Crystal.
Good morning, Maxwell.
Good morning.
And, of course, Finn is here. We are going to be interviewing her today, asking her some questions about the Pioneer itself. As you guys are well aware, the Pioneer podcast is us. We work for the Pioneer, and she is the advisor to that. She provides everybody with the tutelage and resources they need for the Pioneer to be successful. So, Crystal, how would you sort of describe your job day to day as an advisor for the Pioneer?
So my day-to-day job as an advisor for the Pioneer, I would say a lot of it is mentoring and coaching students in the skill sets that they either already have and want to hone or don't have. And what we do at the Pioneer is teach people new skills. So we've had, for instance, some students come on board as photographers or designers, but they're interested in dabbling into writing. And I have a background in news writing. I was a journalist for decades, so I have that background to be able to complement, whatever they want to grow in and develop in. But at the same time, we also have one another as a staff who, maybe someone's in the digital design track, someone has the expertise to be able to help another person grow in that area. And that's just kind of the beauty of what I do is I get to task people with, being someone else's mentor, but I also get to be a mentor as well.
And how long have you been the advisor for the Pioneer?
Wow, that's a good question. I've only been here for the last, 3 months. September, right? October, November, December, 3 months. And before this, I was actually an advisor for Clackamas Community College, and I also taught journalism courses there in Oregon City. And then before that, I was in Vancouver, Washington, teaching at Clark College, but not advising at that point.
So, winter quarter's coming up for 2019. What changes or future projects do you see coming or want to have occur within the Pioneer itself?
Sure, that's a really good question. I would really love to see this platform, podcasting, take off. We've had the equipment for some time, but it was a matter of finding the right fit, and I really feel like we have the right fit in Finn and Maxwell here. And so that was not paid for. No one's told me to say that for money or anything. So yeah, we want this platform to take off and really be another medium in which we can engage the students here at Pierce College. We know with digitalization and just mass media, there's so many ways in which people can hear about our campus, and we think this is just another asset in the tool belt, so to speak. In terms of kinds of stories I would like to see more of, I want to see us do more news stories. I think there's a little bit of hesitation for some students to do the hard news reporting, put your shoe to the ground, the shoe leather type of journalism where you're knocking on doors and
shoe.
Leather, what do you call it? Shoe leather journalism is what they call it.
Okay.
Where you're knocking on doors and getting answers and things like that. Not necessarily we're trying to investigate just for the sake of putting out some kind of like expose on someone's life or anything, but just to have that knack of curiosity and that knack for curiosity to pursue stories that maybe aren't on other people's radars. At the same time, I have seen good work done in the area of feature writing where we're profiling individuals who have a very unique story to tell. So I would love to see that maybe develop into more of a digital space and not just in written form in the magazine.
Are there any factors that you think attribute to sort of the shying away from hard journalism?
That's an interesting question. It's not that students don't know what's going on in the news, or I don't think that there's a lack of access. I think it's just a preference for content. And I don't know. I've seen even in the classes that I've taught, because I go through the different media. We have newspapers, we have TV, internet, movies, etc. And I think the unit in which my students come most alive, I feel like, are the internet and social media chapters or even video games compared to some of the maybe more arcane platforms of movies or
Print
DVDs
media.
or print media,
Yeah.
books even. Yeah.
Do you feel like there are any challenges for the Pioneer in basically this burgeoning age of digital media versus print or physical media?
Any challenges? I mean, I think it's just a matter of integration and convergence, just figuring out how to parallel what's going on in our monthly magazine as well as the website that we have, which is piercepioneernews.com. Just putting a little plug. Yeah, and I think what we don't want to do is have repeat content across the two, but just have content that's complementary and, just maybe if we could use the website to point back to the magazine and the magazine to point back to the website. But of course, what we would want then is to have someone who's social media savvy to be able to, put it out there for us.
And that shouldn't be hard with a college full of youth.
Yeah.
For those of you who aren't aware, I'm a little too old for expertise in the social media field, whereas Finn's the right age.
I'm always on Facebook. Well, actually, that's for
you old man. On Facebook.
Well, I'm always on. What are the kids into?
I was
these
gonna say,
days?
I think it's Snapchat still.
Snapchatty. Yeah. I'm on Chestnut.
Yeah. Okay. Well, after that, I don't know if you're a social media guy. No. Yeah. Well, that's understandable. Are there sort of planned implementations for next quarter, or not even so much planned implementations? I think you would be the first one to profess that the Pioneer is always looking for people.
Oh, yeah.
Are there any skills or savvy individuals, or savviness, that's not the word I'm looking for, any skills or people who are savvy in a certain aspect that you are looking for in prospective individuals who would want to work for the Pioneer?
We are always in need of writers, especially news and sports. We would also love to hire, plug that again too. We would also love to hire a social media manager. We've had a social media manager here who's done an outstanding job, but she's moving forward, beyond Pierce College to look for jobs. And so we want to wish her well. At the same time, we've got some big shoes to fill. And so if there are any social media savvy people out there who would want to work for the Pioneer and get paid to do so, yeah, we would definitely appreciate your application.
That goes out to all of the chat snappers out there.
Chat snappers. All right. And so how do you integrate journalism, the classes you teach and those sort of things, with the Pioneer publication? Specifically, what effect does the Pioneer have on your journalism classes, or your journalism classes have on the Pioneer?
So this is an interesting question for me because I've been trying to find more ways to integrate my Journalism 102 class with the Pioneer, because I feel like the work that we do in both places are very much parallel to one another. And so what I do for my journalism students is I encourage them to, when I assign stories, and I assign four stories throughout the term. And each story I assign, I let them know that, if their story is thoughtfully, dissected, thoroughly analyzed, got all the sourcing down, and, has factual material that is print-worthy or publish-worthy, I would pass that along to the editor of the Pioneer, and I have done so. And a couple students have received, extra credit for that opportunity, and they get to see themselves published. So I feel like there's a big confidence boost going on, and just being able to give students a platform to express their voice via a story that's going on campus. I'm trying to think the converse relationship of having the Pioneer and how the Pioneer fits into my course. I think the best way I could think of is maybe having next term experts in different duties and responsibilities we have here come in to share about what they do, and almost like a career day type thing,
or like a mentorship, maybe. Yeah,
if anyone's interested in pursuing videography but don't have the tools or don't feel they have the proper mentor to help with that, we have really tech savvy people on our staff who could help.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like a masterclass kind of model.
Yeah. Synergy. Masterclass. Okay. And I guess lastly, Crystal, starting the new year, what do you hope to see basically the Pioneer looked at as by the student body? Like when I know that I didn't really know about the Pioneer in 2 quarters going here until I was approached by you and Nick. Now moving forward, how do you want students to be basically seeing the Pioneer, hearing the Pioneer, watching the Pioneer in all ways? Like, do you want it to be, do you want the core audience to be just students and teachers? Do you want it to go beyond that? What is the scope and what is the mission for 2019 for the Pioneer?
I think that's a really good question for Nick, our editorial manager, who's in charge of the team. I always say he's the boss, he's the head honcho, I'm just the advisor. Yeah, I would really be curious to have him in the interview too, but if he's, if he's not able to speak for himself currently, I could say that what we have coming down the pipeline in terms of getting the Pioneer brand out there, not just the brand, but just the work that we do out there, is just continue plugging opportunities to get real work experience in the courses that I teach, as well as we're really hoping to get some of the TVs set up around campus where we could have a rotating slideshow that shows, some of the latest work that we're doing at the Pioneer. And so I know we have some TV screens around campus where people look to that for just campus news in general, but we're hoping to get some of the Pioneers content on there. And so that's something we could look forward to for students to better engage with us.
Yeah, that'd be good. Well, I think that about wraps up our time with Crystal Park, advisor to the Pioneer and instructor of journalism here at Pierce College. Thank you for your time, Crystal.
Thank you for having me.
Whoops, we overlapped each other.
No worries.
Well.